Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. But who is he? Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And who is he? Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And what he do? And he's gonna react to all the self-snitching.
Hi, this is Bruce Rivers. Welcome to another fun-filled episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I'm Bruce Rivers, board-certified criminal defense lawyer, board-certified by the National Board of Trial Advocacy and by the Minnesota State Bar Association as a criminal law and criminal trial specialist. Today we're reacting to Brian Walsh. But before we get to Brian Walsh, let's talk about who we're sponsored by. We're sponsored by Sign.com. Let's say you're at home and you can't leave because you're Brian Walsh and you have a home monitoring device on you because you tried to sell some Andy Warhol paintings to somebody and you can't get out of the house. So the only way you can sign a contract, because you might have to post bail later, is by doing a document remotely. How can you sign that? Go to eSign.com. Download the app. You get 3 free signatures a month, and it is a great way to do business remotely. So let's talk about Brian Walsh. You know, I'm going to just tell every guy out there something you already know. There is no problem that you have with a woman that can be solved by violence. Never. It's not a good idea. Not to mention the fact that dismembering her is probably even a worse idea. This guy has got to be the dumbest fucking criminal I've ever seen in my life. Let's just talk a little. We're gonna play his bond hearing, which is another thing. But now, in this day and age, guess what? Everywhere you go, everything you do leaves a digital footprint, okay? You do a search on the internet. There's a permanent record of it. You take your phone someplace. There's a permanent record of where you go. You make a phone call. There's a record of that. You walk outside. You go to Walmart. Guess what? There's video of you everywhere you go. Everywhere you go, there's some type of digital footprint. So he's on his kids. You can't make this up. This is like a made-for-TV movie. These are Google searches he did on his child's iPad. How long before a body starts to smell? Okay. How to stop a body from decomposing. How to embalm a body. And what's the best state to divorce for men? Dismemberment. And what happens when you put body parts in ammonia? Now, you really don't have a great explanation for doing these searches. But there was more other searches like hacksaw, a best tool to dismember. Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, can you be charged with murder without a body? Now, in this case, they don't have a body. And that does make it a little more difficult. It makes the case more circumstantial. There's a difference between direct evidence and circumstantial evidence. We've talked about that a little bit on this channel. But direct evidence is where somebody sees something happen. You know, you see the wagon wheel, go through the snow. Circumstantial evidence is you see the tracks where the wagon wheel was. So you can know somebody went through the snow. And in this case, they don't have a body. They don't have an eyewitness. They don't have video of the killing. What do they have? They have a missing woman. They have, he bought cleaning supplies, about $450 worth. They got 10 trash bags containing blood-stained items, including a hacksaw. And somehow that matches the search. Towels, rags, cleaning agents, carpets. Her slippers were in there. Can you have a reasonable explanation about why you'd throw her slippers away? A Prada purse, her COVID-19 vaccine card. And investigators found DNA from Anna Walsh and Brian Walsh on the slippers, according to the prosecutor. Let's listen in on the bond hearing.
January 1st, defendant Googled using his son's iPad. Some of his searches are as follows. Keep in mind that the defendant said he left at 6 a.m. At 4:50.
So now he gave a statement to the cops, right? And he tells the cops, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. Now he was on a bracelet, and he was on a bracelet for an offense where he tried to sell some fake Warhols to somebody in California. And he got busted for that, so he was on home monitoring, without GPS, mind you.
5:55 a.m. on January 1st, he searched how long before a body starts to smell. At 4:58 a.m., how to stop a body from decomposing. At 5:20 a.m., he searched how to embalm a body.
Not a particularly handsome fella, is he?
At 5:47 a.m., 10 ways to dispose of a dead body if you really need to. At 6:25 a.m. on the 1st, how long for someone to be missing to inherit.
10 ways to dispose of a body if you really need to. Well, you know what? It's kind of starting to smell, but I don't really need to right now. Unbelievable.
At 6:34 a.m. on the 1st, can you throw away body parts? At 9:29 a.m., what does formaldehyde do? At 9:34 a.m. on the 1st, how long does DNA last? At 9:59 a.m., can identification be made on partial remains? At 11:34 a.m., dismemberment and the best ways to dispose of a body.
So these are all searches that I guarantee you a child is not going to do. The little kids that they left behind, and now they're parentless. But every single one of these builds on itself, right? So when we talk about circumstantial evidence, you take brick by brick by brick by brick. That's what the prosecutor will do. Now they don't have him killing anybody. They don't have him admitting to doing anything. So they have to use all these inference. You draw an inference from the evidence. And if your Google search is best way to dispose of a body, one could think that you might have a body you might need disposing of.
At 11:44, how to clean blood from wooden floor. At 11:56 on the 1st, luminol to detect blood. At 1:08, what happens when you put body parts in ammonia? At 1:21 p.m., is it better to throw crime scene clothes away or wash them? Those were on the January 1st. There was also information gained from the defendant's phone, which showed on January 2nd he was at Home Goods in Norwell, where he purchased 3 rugs.
That's important because if you dispose of a rug because it has blood on it, and you put a new rug down, if anything got leaked through, it would still get on that new rug.
At 1:10 p.m., can you be charged with murder without a body? At 1:14 p.m., can you identify a body with broken teeth?
So in this day and age, we have a lot of technology. You guys have all seen forensic files. You all have seen NCIS. And some of that stuff is real. And in a lot of cases, they don't have DNA. They don't have fingerprints. They don't have teeth. You can identify somebody by dental records because, if you look at my teeth, I was in an accident in 2003. My teeth are going to look way different than anybody else's. And no one will have the exact teeth that I have because of what happened to me. I was in a motorcycle accident and injured my teeth. And so my teeth have a very distinct pattern. Everybody is the same way. Nobody has the same type of cavity, the exact same. And so the x-rays they can use. So can you identify a body by broken teeth?
On January 2nd, following those, the defendant was seen on surveillance at the Home Depot in Rockland. In checking the surveillance, the defendant is observed on a security camera pushing a cart. Items included cleaning products, mops, brushes, tape, top, a Tyvek suit with boot covers, buckets, goggles, baking soda, a hatchet.
Baking soda, hatchet, and a Tyvek suit. Was it just for like a little weekend party? I mean, there's no reasonable explanation, and you put all this together. You put it all together, and it is just the dumbest thing I've ever seen. This guy is the dumbest criminal on the planet because he's giving everybody a roadmap to what he's thinking and what he's doing.
Face mask and rubber gloves on at the time he was pushing the cart in Home Depot. At 5:32, he was seen at the Derby Street in Hingham, now removing the gloves and the mask. Data from his phone also tracked his whereabouts on January 3rd.
Now, this is the prosecutor, by the way. What she's doing is she's reading the probable cause portion of the complaint or of the indictment or whatever. When they first started this hearing, the defense said, we are not contesting bail or detention, and we're not contesting probable cause. In other words, she didn't want this all to be read. And the judge says, well, I have to hear it because I have to be satisfied.
Locations were traveled at 4:27 on January 3rd to an apartment complex in Abington. Surveillance shows the defendant's Volvo, as well as a male fitting the defendant's appearance, exit a car near the dumpster. He walks to the dumpster carrying a garbage bag. He's leaning, and it appears to be heavy as he has to heft it into the dumpster. He walks to the dumpster with the garbage bag and leaves it. On 4:48, he hit another complex in Abington, and at 5:10 p.m., cell phone shows records at another apartment in Brockton.
He's going to various garbages, and he's dumping something, right? And I think the rumor, or not the rumor, but I think what the facts are that she eventually got incinerated.
Video shows a party consistent with his appearance and his Volvo. Again, he discarded items in the dumpster. On January 3rd, that same day, at 1:02 p.m., he did some more Google searches. What happens to hair on a dead body? At 1:13 p.m., what is the rate of decomposition of a body found in a plastic bag compared?
So what are searches? What are Google searches? They are a window into the thinking of whoever is doing them, right? So if you see that, on my site, I'm looking for a 1962 Lincoln Continental convertible, then I'm probably interested in one, which I am, by the way. But if I'm Googling how long does it take a body to decompose, what happens to hair when somebody dies, I mean, he's gone from, the best way to kill somebody to what happens afterwards. You can just tell what he's thinking. And knowing what somebody's thinking, there's a Latin phrase called mens rea. It's your intent, your criminal intent. And when somebody has mens rea, that means the criminal intent to do the thing. That is what this is going to be used for. Absolutely.
On a surface in the woods. At 1:20 p.m., can baking soda mask or make a body smell good?
Does baking soda make a body smell good? You hear about these cases, and how dumb can this guy be to think this would even work? I mean, there is no problem that you have with a woman that can be solved with violence. It is just sheer evil to take her out like that. They tracked her phone. He told her that she had a work emergency. She never showed up for it, and her work is what called it in. And they pinged her phone. Her phone never left the house. They found blood and a broken knife in the family's basement that had blood on it. They have surveillance video of Brian Walsh wearing a medical mask and surgical gloves and purchasing $450 of cleaning supplies with cash at Home Depot near his house. He was wearing a monitoring bracelet. Now, I was telling you this before. He was wearing a monitoring bracelet as he awaited sentencing for selling fake Andy Warhol paintings to some buyer in California. He was under house arrest, but he was allowed to leave the home for things like doctor's appointments, shopping for a murder kit, and the bracelet did not have GPS. Now, the court held him without bail. Defense didn't contest it because it was just, he's going to be held without bail. Circumstantial cases are different. The law doesn't prefer direct or circumstantial evidence, right? A jury may want more direct evidence, but if they don't have it, they're going to have to put pieces of a puzzle together. And it'll be up to the defense. With these searches, how do you explain these searches? There's no good explanation for them, unless you're writing a novel. Unless you're writing a novel and you want to be accurate in a novel. This guy does not look like a novelist to me, at all. So we'll follow this case. I was just heavy in the news today, and I just thought it was just a good example of a real dumb criminal. So this is Bruce Rivers. Thanks for watching. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, sign up for Patreon, follow us on Instagram, and we'll see you next time here on Criminal Lawyer Reacts.
Bruce Rivers just broke down your case. He know all the charges that you about to face. You ain't coming home till 2058. That self-snitching gon' get you put away. Bruce Rivers just broke down your case. He know all the charges that you about to face. You ain't coming home till 2058. That self-snitching gon' get you put away. 23-hour lockdown, police is at my God.